The content of this presentation applies to the Milestone 7 pre-release of Design Management version 4 and is subject to change in future versions. Hi, this is Wayne Dew, the developer of the validation framework in the Rational Design Management application. In this video, which is part 2 in the validation series, I'm going to show you how the constraints created in part 1 are applied onto instance models, as well as how you can use live constraints. First, we create a new project area by going to the menu and choosing the Jazz Team Server Home. I go to Project Areas, and I create a project area. I choose the users and I press Save. Now I'll go to the new project area that I just created. And in the project properties, I will go to the domains page. I ensure that it is actively managed by Design Manager. And as for the referenced domains, I'm going to choose the ontology that I imported, which was reservation system. Now I press the Save button. And now I am able to use the ontology that was imported from this new project. I'll start by creating 2 users. So I go into the Designs menu and I choose the user. So I'm creating an instance of the user class. This one I will call user, and the contact number will be 123456789. I do not check the is administrator checkbox because I do not want this user to be an administrator. And as for the ID, I will have 123. I press the Save button, and then I create a second user. And this user is going to be an administrator. So for the identifier, I will call it admin. Contact number is... Now you can see I'm going to make a mistake and purposely leave out a digit in this contact phone number. Label will be admin, and ID will be 456. I will check the is administrator checkbox and press the Save button. When I save, I notice that there is a validation error because I left out a digit in the phone number. So after I correct the error by adding that missing digit and pressing Save, I expect the validation problem to go away. Now I'm going to create a system, an instance of a system. So I go to the Designs menu and I choose Create System. Call this SYS1. And for the contact number, I will type in a bunch of 1s. So remember how we defined the numeric range to be between 1 to 500? Well, I'm going to set it to 501. So this is out of range on purpose. And as for the custodian, I will choose the user which is not the administrator. I press OK. And now, after saving, I expect 2 errors. The maximum number of users must be between 1 to 500, and the user is not an administrator. Notice that The referenced phone number is not the phone number of the system, it is the phone number of the actual user. I'm going to go into the Designs menu and choose the Validation page. So it's possible to get a quick overview of the validation errors for a particular project. On this page, you can see a listing of all the validation problems in the active project, and the item URLs and the actual error messages are displayed. To correct these errors, I'm going to go back to this editor. I change the maximum number of users to 500 and I press save. Now there's only one problem, and I correct the problem with the user. I choose the admin. Now I press save, and no error messages are displayed. Finally, there are some values for which you wish to be notified immediately when something is wrong. That is where live validation comes in. I'm going to go into the Designs Explorer of the Domains project. I make sure I'm showing all documents, not just domains. And from here I can see the constraint set. Back in the constraint set, I can change these property constraints to be live. So I will go into each property constraint and choose the live option of the language. Now I go into the second property constraint, and again I choose the live version of the language. Now I go back to the other project, not the domains project, my custom project, and I'll attempt to make a new system. Now, when I enter an invalid number, I will get feedback right away. The same happens when the range constraint is violated. Again, I get feedback right away. The field is highlighted and the error message appears next to the field. In addition, when one of these live constraints has been violated, it's not possible to save. Again, note that the fields with validation errors have been highlighted, so you can immediately see where the problem is. That was a quick overview of the validation framework in the Rational Design Management application. Thanks for watching.